things are kind of off and running and there's a lot of optimism and like we're unleashing those sort of animal capitalist spirits that are so unique to America, and they've finally gotten a chance to sort of breathe again. And that's going to go a long way in terms of helping the economy along. So we may not need the Fed to be as aggressive on the interest rate front. It'll be interesting to see how Scott manages that. It may not be easy because he's going to say, I want lower rates. I want lower rates. Can't you do something? Can't you do something about Powell over there? But, you know, Powell was his appointment too. And one of the things I said about Powell back in the day was I liked that he came from the real world, that he wasn't entirely academic. And he's had a hard job. I think he's made a lot of mistakes, but look, knock on wood, we're going to be out of it and we're going to be off and running. And it's one of the reasons why we created this Invest in MAGA. I should put this up, I think, investinmaga.com guide, which is free, by the way, to anybody watching the show. We encourage you to go over and take a look at that. Invest in MAGA. Let me make like a little lower, they call them lower thirds. But Rob, as I put this up, I mean, what are sort of the overall themes about investing in this moment? We'll get to Elon Musk in just a second.
Well, you know, we wrote this guide with the idea that we are now turning the corner or I guess turning the page in the other direction versus what the Harris Waltz campaign was saying, and entering what is really like a more constructive investment environment. We have Trump coming, not only Trump won, but the Republicans won both parts of Congress. And that means that, it's not going to be gridlock. We'll see some real activity and we'll see some new policies get enacted. So on the tax side, that's very favorable. On the regulation side, whether we're talking about executive orders or we're talking about legislation, I think we'll see a lot of movement in terms of making, kind of helping U.S. industries, kind of execute their plans, particularly in the energy sector, on the
So we don't have to worry about ESG and DEI.
Well, I think, look, it's not the Green New Deal here, right? It's quite the opposite. It's drill, baby, drill. I think there's not the obsession with carbon emissions, which just had a very stifling effect on everything. And, in terms of, we've heard it from all the companies, in terms of their ability to build things and get environmental permitting. Not to say that this is going to be an administration that's happy to pollute all over the place, but we're going to have reasonable regulations. We're going to have movement of our capacity to export liquefied natural gas, which is going to be a real boon for the energy sector. It's going to really help the whole world. We're going to have this focus on data centers and providing the electricity we need to provide to data centers for the AI build out. The tech industry is just clamoring for that. From my point of view, this is, that we're really going to stop doing things that were hurting the economy and U.S. industries and start doing things that will help them. And it just sets up for a very favorable investment environment. For sure. I put the URL. So if anybody wants to go and just learn and understand a little bit more about the areas that we feel are very compelling right now, go over to investinmaga.com. Of course, 76research.com is where all of the information is, but that's just a free guide to kind of give you a little bit of a primer.